Favorite Five. Favorite Five. Favorite Five. And welcome to the next episode of Favorite Five. I'm your host, Jack, and we are discussing our favorite 5 things. And with me today are
Just things in general? I have the wrong list because I picked bands.
My guests today are Rob.
Yellow.
And Janet.
Hey.
But at the exact same time as last time.
Nice.
I didn't mean to snort. Can we edit that out?
Don't worry, I'll edit it out.
Holla.
All I asked before we started was that we keep it together. And it just seems like purposely people are sabotaging. It's feeling like sabotage.
Sabotage.
So,
I don't feel like this is intentional.
Beastie Boys songs aside, top 5 Beastie Boys songs.
No.
Brass Monkey.
That funky monkey. I was going Brass Monkey too.
Perfect. And this episode's theme, favorite 5 bands. Rob, what is your number 5, favorite 5 band of all time on your favorite 5?
My favorite 5 band of all 5 times is the 5 band Clutch.
Clutch,
classic band. New album coming out, which sounds great. The songs we've heard so far sound like old school Clutch, not so much as the bluesy Clutch they kind of turned into. And it's great.
My favorite Clutch song, Regulator.
Regulators is a good song. My favorite Clutch song is probably classic Shogun named Marcus.
Shogun named Marcus. Yeah.
It's classic.
Yeah, that was, I think, one of the first songs of
Yeah, I
Clutch
think that was the first one that broke for them.
But that you introduced me to and said, hey,
like it.
take a gander at this. And the guy's got a beard.
Now he does. Neil Fallon, yeah. His beard's massive.
Fantastic.
It's made of bees.
I think we can all agree Clutch.
I've never heard of Clutch.
Oh.
Well, we know what the end of this show is going to be. We're going to make her listen to Clutch. She won't like it.
Oh.
50,000 watts. That I love that song. I'm sorry. I've just got down the Clutch rabbit hole.
Yes, Clutch is a great band.
The video is interesting. He's
yes, it's a good band.
Okay, so his favorite 5 band of all time, Clutch.
Okay.
Next we have Janet, and she's gonna wow us with. This is why this has to be a 3-man operation. This show requires the host, myself, Jack, Rob, my sidekick, and Janet, who's going to bring a different angle. If it was just me and Rob here, it would be us just stroking each other's egos on how smart we were at remembering.
Oh, I'm glad you said
great
egos.
Things. Hey
Those
now.
things you were stroking.
So what is your...
Oh! Number 5.
Heart.
Oh, Barracuda.
Anna Nancy Wilson.
Oh, Heart.
Fantastic. Yeah, Barracuda, Magic Man. These Dreams, Alone.
These Dreams, they sing These Dreams?
Dreams go on.
Yeah.
Close my eyes.
That's kind of funny.
Every second of the night, I live another life.
I loved that song. I've listened to that song hundreds of times. I did not know that was Heart.
Seriously?
Seriously.
It was actually written for Stevie Nicks.
That makes more sense.
But instead, Nancy sang it. Nancy Wilson.
They wrote it?
No, it was written by someone else for Stevie Nicks.
Oh, I thought they
and
wrote it
she
for
did
Stevie
not
Nicks.
want to sing it. So they asked Hurt to sing it, and Anne felt that Nancy was a better fit for it.
Oh, is she the other girl? Is usually the singer?
Yeah.
Very nice.
So there you go.
They sisters?
Yeah.
I-
Alone is one of my favorite songs. What's the other one? Oh my god, it's like the best storytelling song ever when she basically uses this guy in a one-night stand, gets pregnant, goes back, sees him again,
This is a lot in
and
this-
he
in that
sees
song.
his own eyes. Yeah, it's fantastic. They're fantastic. And I think for women...
Oh, that song's called Murder Birds and Bursters.
It's not.
No, that was...
It's not your prog rock song. Big deal. No, but I think for women to create a rock and roll sound, nobody does it like Heart.
Okay, good choice. I didn't know that I was going to be coming up with the most feminine of the my number 5,
Nancy Sinatra?
Sarah McLachlan.
Really? You like Sarah McLachlan
I
that
love
much?
Sarah McLachlan.
You like her that much?
I love her that much. She is the comfort food of
The
ear.
dog death commercial kind of ruined it for me.
Yeah.
She can make a grown man cry as long as there's a half-blinded schnauzer on the screen.
That turned me off her.
But also, if if there was just a female singer, and I'm not a fan of female singers in rock in so much, but
What does that mean?
I have become, actually, in time.
I guess I
doesn't
don't
like what they
understand what
sound
that
like.
means. You don't understand. You don't like what women sound like when they sing.
But I guess
not-
when you don't understand something, you
We're
lash out.
talking about.
That's the best way to do it. No.
I understand. I never used to like
Could
female
you-
singers either. I've only lately come into appreciating them more.
I mean, you're talking like Grace Slick. Doesn't
that's what I mean,
do
like,
anything
yeah.
for you. Didn't do anything for you before, but now she's.
She still doesn't do much for me. I mean, more
Oh.
people like Flyleaf or
Grace Jones.
Grace Jones. She's not. Is she a singer?
No, so.
No.
She might have had one of those weird albums.
Okay, so we've been sidetracked by
Natalie
us.
Merchant, Alanis Morissette.
I like Natalie
I mean,
Merchant.
there's like
I've always liked
there's
that.
like a ton of female singers.
So
I love Sarah McLachlan though. I'm
Yeah,
not taking away from your number 5.
I come to the table with Sarah McLachlan, and now I'm being accused of being a
sexist.
woman hater.
You
So
just flat out said.
so what I'm going to do is I'm going
I've
to take
never-
her off the list. And
I've
I'm going with
never-
Clutch. Go
Clutch!
team Clutch.
Clutch!
You just flat out said I've never been a fan of female singers.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means.
Because he doesn't like the sound of them.
And I was almost allowed
You don't
to
like the sound
rebut
of women.
the attack, but no. So anyways, so
Wait.
do I have to disclaimer again that this is the favorite 5 is there's no wrong answers. It is your favorite
There's
5
not. I love that you love Sarah McLachlan.
that are special to you, and there's no wrong answers. So it's a judgment-free zone. So that was my favorite 5. Rob,
I'll tell you right now, there's no female singers on my list.
you're not, don't open that kettle of fish.
I'm not judging Sarah McLachlan. I love Sarah McLachlan. I think Ice Cream. If we were to like go over a top 5 list of all-time favorite songs, Ice Cream is like my honorable mention because it's a fantastic song and I love it.
Yeah.
And it still makes me cry to this day.
Better than ice cream.
Better than
Okay, we don't need
anything
singing.
else that
Gasoline.
I've tried. Yeah, so fantastic. But I'm not judging that. I don't want you to think that.
Don't worry.
I'm judging the comment that I'm
Okay.
judging the comment that
I've lost control, and this is
Female
this is
singers
the one thing I
suck?
begged that we would do is keep this
okay,
civil.
I'll stop.
So, Rob, what is your number 4?
I think this is going to surprise some people at being number 4.
Oh God, there's a small game that I like to play as the host of this show, and
This might throw your game off.
And I've been quite successful throughout this is episode 55 of Favorite 5, and I have successfully guessed number
Quite a few of
ones every time without air.
No, I don't.
So
pretty close.
I don't think we want to
what
say
is what is your number 4?
My number 4 is the almighty Black Sabbath. Is that what you chose for number 1?
No,
Oh, okay. So you might have a chance.
I
Black Sabbath. They're number 4. It seems pretty high on my list.
So
but
you're saying there's a chance?
there's a chance. Yeah. Black Sabbath. Jack introduced me to Black Sabbath. I introduced him to Clutch. He introduced me to Black Sabbath. We were sitting in art class in I think grade 9. I was in grade 9. You were probably in grade 10 or 11. And no, I don't know. Anyways,
That was a subtle way to point out that he's older.
he's much
Yeah.
older than me.
Yes, I'm an antique.
And Jack
I'm
was like the rebel
venerable.
kid. I didn't really even know Jack that much until we took art class together. And Jack was listening to his headphones and his Walkman.
Yeah.
And he's like, listen to this, buddy. Listen to this. And I listened to it. It blew my mind.
80s music sucked. Like you can take your Poison, you can take your
Literally.
the hair bands, Motley Crue. I did not care.
I didn't
for
even
them.
like Guns N' Roses and any of those.
Black Sabbath was where it's at, and it took the 90s to happen before anything happened
Yeah.
outside of that for me. You know, I could listen to a little bit of like Faster Pussycat and some other stuff, but Black Sabbath was where it was at.
So, yep, he introduced me to Black Sabbath. He put Black Sabbath in my head, and it's never left.
Perfect.
Jack's fault.
I take full responsibility for that.
You do. And,
That
you
is
and I give you full responsibility.
That is a fantastic number 4.
It is a good number 4.
Janet?
3 better bands.
My number 4 is Journey.
Journey.
I really don't feel like I need to explain more than that.
Yeah, Jack's waiting for it.
You've got to follow something up. A song, a feeling.
What is your favorite Journey song?
Journey. I could just go on and on. Don't Stop Believing, obviously, although cliche. Let's see. Why did my mind just go blank?
Because you drank a lot.
The one about sickest life under the big top world. We all need the clowns to make us smile.
Journey's a classic band.
Yeah,
They're
Classic
pretty
rock.
phenomenal.
See, you're pretty classic rock so far.
That's my whole life. My whole life is classic.
I've never really known that about
But
you. I always
melodrama.
thought you're more.
She loves any song that's got melodrama in it.
That's true. You got that little it's not just classic rock.
Nobody does melodrama like Journey.
Yeah.
Except maybe like Foreigner or REO Speedwagon. But
Europe,
Journey's better at it.
Asia.
Journey before they lost
When the Rains
Stephen Perry.
in Africa.
Yes.
That's Toto.
That's right. With naming bands that are in the 80s.
And that's a pretty melodramatic.
But Toto was like an upbeat melodramatic, like
You
know, Journey is not upbeat about it.
You want a broken heart.
Yeah, they're broken heart melodramatic. You're right.
And they're good at it. And what was the one? Loving, touching, squeezing.
Loving, touching, squeezing.
Another.
Anytime we're
He's tearing you apart.
Anytime where the lead singer is telling you, the listener, how much you're beautiful and loved.
Apart.
Yeah.
Oh,
he's
girl,
begging her to come back to him.
Yeah. Say? When you can tell he's singing it with his eyes closed. Awesome.
So there you go, Journey.
Perfect. My number.
She's
never gonna stop singing.
My number 4 is oldie but a goodie, and I think anyone can pop. Jethro Tull.
I know you love Jethro Tull.
You and my dad.
He loves the tull.
It is.
He likes mandolins.
It's
what can
the
he
rock
say?
and roll flute.
I like the flute. Yeah. But basically, you can name a classic rock station, and if like there's the Pink Floyds and stuff where there's a whole collection of songs that you're gonna hear. But Jethro Tull is right up there with a whole host of songs that are just classics, and I bought a bunch of albums when CDs were king, and I told my friend Charlie, I'm getting some Jethro Tull albums because I really like the songs. He said, "Oh, I don't know."
He was much into Pink Floyd.
He was Pink Floyd, and he was like, "They're not. He's not Pink Floyd." And I'm like, "Okay." And I started buying them, and I loved them right from their newer stuff to their classic old stuff. Jethro Tull.
Creepy.
I don't see creepy. Even Aqualung, Thick as a Brick, the album, which is just one song it's an hour-long song. That is a go-to if I just want to plug something in. It just fantastic for me. Jethro Tull.
Interesting choice.
No judging.
I'm
back
not
to my list.
judging. I didn't say anything.
So, Rob, what would your number 3 favorite 5 band of all time be?
Another British band, following up on Black Sabbath. This one's much more recent, but unfortunately have seemed to have broken up. They haven't been around for a while. And that would be Pitch Shifter. And I know Pitch Shifter, maybe the first time any of us heard it was Twisted Metal 2, I believe. And Genius, I think, was played constantly when you were playing the one board.
The video game Twisted Metal 2, where you're right, I couldn't tell you.
I think that was the first time we heard Pitch Shifter, and it was just like, and it was we heard that song millions of times, and I still like that song. So that says something about the band.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
When you hear a song like constantly, because you guys played Twisted Metal 2 until your eyes bled, and I was sat there watching you guys play this game.
Twisted Metal 1 was a fantastic game. One of the first games that made me get a PlayStation 1, and Twisted Metal 2 followed up and improved on that to the point of that game is car-on-car violence perfection. I was a fan of all of them. Twisted Metal 3 was good.
You should save it for when we do the retro video game show.
The video game favorite 5, Twisted Metal, obviously 1 and 2. I would group them together, but would be on that list for sure. Sweet Tooth, the sound of his laughter, as well as that animatronic head on the top of an ice cream truck. It was a crazy clown driving an ice cream truck, like who shot missiles. Like you can't get any better than that.
Anyways, Pitch Shifter, great band.
Pitch Shifter,
a lot of great. Every album's awesome, and they're a great band. British post-punk band. Janet,
never heard of them.
I know.
That's why this works.
I know.
You have heard of them.
Like
you have heard of them because every time my phone makes a noise when someone texts me. No, when they
the one that sounds like
kerosene.
Crystal Cathedral.
No, it's the Set Me on Fire kerosene. The one you're like, does your phone just say Set Me on Fire? That's Pitch.
Oh,
I don't recall saying that.
I thought,
is that a new ringtone?
It's the ringtone I always have.
I thought that was Prodigy.
No, that's the other one. That's my old one.
Oh, you go through
That's
electronics.
what I remember.
You go through electronics like I go through underwear. Just like daily. Just, hey, I got a new tablet. Oh, it's now a dinner plate. Oh, I got a phone. It's not the iPhone 55 yet, so Hey, iPhone 55. This is our 55th episode. The coincidence is uncanny.
This isn't our 55th episode.
No, 56. You are correct. So, Janet.
Yes, Jack. I feel like I got a lot of stuff.
What is your...
answered you. Yes, Jack.
What is your number 3 on your favorite 5 bands of all time?
Okay, you have to remember I was in college. I graduated high school in 99, and I was in college till 2003. Dave Matthews Band.
Ugh. Ugh.
A woman in college that is... You were the target demographic for that, and I don't think anyone can fault you.
Ugh.
That was a viral...
No, you can't.
That's like saying, "Oh no, someone got
telling you.
influenza." It just.
I think Crash.
An apt comparison, I think.
Crash came out
Ugh.
in 98, 97, 98.
Judgment
before I
Free
went to
Zone.
I know. I'm trying to be the shepherd here.
You're trying.
You can judge it all you want. I've seen that man in concert more times than I've seen anybody else. And oh God, what he does to me!
Family-friendly show here, Janet.
He moves me.
Good.
He moves me like a
bowel movement out of a bus.
Moving bus.
He moves me in the way that Aqua Teen Hunger Force moved me.
Oh.
That's just odd.
No, it's not.
Let's just go on.
But-
I made a soundtrack of songs that I would like to do things to. He's on it 3 times.
She made a soundtrack.
Okay.
3 different songs.
This has gotten this got a little hot in here. It's a little.
Oh God! When you talk about favorite bands, music means a lot to me, and he tops the chart 3 times.
My number 3,
Yes.
an oldie but a goodie, Ozzy Osbourne.
Oh, just Ozzy? Not even Black Sabbath?
I said number 3.
Oh, okay. Really, Ozzy? You can separate Ozzy from Black Sabbath?
I'm allowed to, aren't I?
Well, I didn't. I wouldn't have.
Judgment Free Zone, Rob.
No, it was just like, it's just odd that
This is a technical question as to the
It's okay.
It's like saying Ben
As-
Folds versus
Ben
Folds
Folds
Five.
5, yeah.
Ozzy Osbourne as a separate entity in the.
He's awesome. Ozzy's the man. Unfortunately, he kind of ruined his reputation once he did reality shows and things, but
Even still,
he's still cool.
his albums when he had I'm not a fan of Zakk Wylde.
No? Oh, Zakk Wylde. You liked, what's his name? Guy before. Randy Rhoads.
Randy Rhoads. Well, yeah, obviously, who didn't?
But you don't like Zakk. Zakk Wylde's a little wanky.
He does he flates himself. He's got a sound at he plays 3 notes at
Yeah.
and whole albums have been ruined by him. Good songs, and all of a sudden it's like
Yeah, a little bit extra. Yeah.
and he's like, okay,
That was the 80s, though.
your flourish. He even 90s
He kept going longer than you should have. Yes.
that little flourish that he did in every song did taint it. But where was I going? Yes,
Ozzy's
Randy Rhoads. You're talking Crazy Train. You're talking
Bark of the Moon.
Yeah, the Diary of a Madman album. Mr. Crowley as a song.
Mr. Crowley's my favorite Ozzy song.
There's so many classics, and I don't think I have to explain that to anyone.
It's a good choice.
Number 3
you separated it. Yeah. Okay.
and because they are 2 separate entities.
They are different.
Black Sabbath had Ozzy in the band, but they were also
Different sound, even.
They also had other people in the band. They also had
He masturbates to Ozzy.
I know, obviously. Like, look at his face right now.
when you're laying on your Pokemon sheets, watching Aqua Teen Hunger Force and listening to I was going off the rails on a crazy train, and I'm like, he died. He was 19. He was a musical prodigy. The Flying V guitar and tears just.
Randy Rhoads died, if you didn't. He's the original guitarist.
Okay.
Died in a bus accident.
Yeah.
Or a plane accident. I think a plane hit a bus.
Yes, that's exactly what happened.
I know. I just couldn't remember which one he was in. Anyways, yeah. Ozzy,
Don't
good
judge.
choice.
No, I'm.
Don't judge his
Judgment
death.
free. I'm not judging you right now, but you were really excited about this. More excited than I've ever seen you. And we've
About
been
anything.
dating. We've been dating for 3 years.
5 years.
Ozzy Osbourne. So, that was our number 3.
Mm-hmm.
Our number 2 in our favorite 5 bands of all time.
This is, I think, where you're going to lose your bet.
There's no money, there's no bet, but I'm gonna.
A, this is when you lose your bet, and B, this is where you're going to yell at me for breaking the rules. Are you ready for this?
I am ready for this. You have hyped this up. This could result in
Disqualification.
yes, the end of this show. I was hoping to get to 60 episodes, but
55 it is?
this 56.
Oh, yeah. So my number 2 is Tool / A Perfect Circle / Pussifer. Because they all got the same singer, and he's the man, Maynard. So all 3 I counting as number 2. Is that what you guessed, Tool? Number 2. Wait till you hear number 1.
My game has been ruined by
Game, set, and match.
By apparently a
Cheat?
no, by apparently an upset of epic proportion. I would never have guessed something was going to beat Tool.
When you hear it, you'll be like, oh yeah, that makes sense.
But my separation of Ozzy...
That's what confused me because I put all these bands together. You separated Ozzy.
My separation of Ozzy being the exact opposite of your clumpation of all things Maynard...
Maynard James Keenan.
Maynard J. Keenan.
Tool, I've seen them many times, and Pussifer is the best concert I've ever seen. It was amazing.
And I will admit that I have just recently, Pussifer, Perfect Circle's great.
Yes, Perfect Circle, I like Perfect Circle more than Tool.
Paz on the bass is fantastic. Even just the song Judith, I'll watch that video on YouTube. It's going out of style. Fantastic. Obviously, Perfect Circle, Janet's going to be on board, right? I'm looking for a little feedback. Perfect Circle.
Pussifer?
I have no feedback.
Oh.
But Pussifer was a little outside.
Well, the thing is, they can be like campy, but then they have really good songs.
They got a little too close to like Sailing the Seas of Tool. Like it was
a little Primus.
A little Primus, a little bit, and I wasn't digging it. Like the probation one.
Parole.
The conditions of your parole.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, it's way campy, but it's starting to draw me in.
But then they have other songs like Ghosts, and like there's some songs that are like
sad.
Indigo Children.
I went through
some really good
playlist of Pussifer, and there was some really touching something about a
it's
river.
That's Ghosts, I think. And
so a woman who those songs.
Because they have a female singer, Karina Round they sing together, and it's really great combo.
So the stuff that I'd introduced to first was just one aspect, and it came around, and once I really delved in, and I listened to Pussifer song after Pussifer song, and it was some of that stuff. Okay, yeah, you get the Bohemian Rhapsody cover, you get some stuff like that, but then all of a sudden it's like, oh my, Donkey Punch the Night Away.
Yeah,
that is a fantastic song. Stupid name, but it's about his friend dying, and he's pissed off.
Yep, and. And then of course there's Tool. Tool back in the day, your first thing you hear is Hush with its edited version. We watched it on Loud on Much Music.
Love that song. I'll listen to that.
The edited version's better than the original just because it's hilarious to have them edited.
The song Opiate is one of my favorites.
It's a great song. And then you go right into Prison Sex and
that whole
46
album.
and 2 and Sober,
all the stuff.
And the
that
kids
people
doing
know.
the covers. You've heard the kids doing the covers, like the little school kids. That's the best.
Right up into Enema, which was good, and that's where I kind
Lateralis.
of...
I like. There's good songs of both those.
Enema,
it's been 10 years since they made this album, so we're hoping for a new one soon. They're working on it.
Oh,
Hooker with a Penis. I'll listen to that song day in and day out.
And then
because
Jimmy
it's
because they all mean something. They have crazy names, but
that's the thing.
I think it's interesting how similar you two are in music taste.
Well, we did grow up together.
Yeah, obviously. And how outre that I am.
Yeah, but that's why you're the dissenting voice.
But on some of the other things, we've all found a common ground, right?
Music is quite different.
We're totally different.
Well, there is common ground. It's just not our favorite bands. Like, we all like the Beatles, or we all like certain things.
No, none of you like Dave Matthews Band.
No, I hate Dave Matthews.
I
actively hate Dave Matthews.
You flat out admitted it.
No, that's a band I do not
Journey, you were like,
Journey's
I guess I can see that.
But we still have time to turn it around.
We still got 2 more. What's
Heart, you did feel like...
What is your number 2 favorite band of all time?
Rob's already shot them down and mocked and ridiculed them, but it would be Guns N' Roses.
See, I never liked Guns N' Roses.
God damn it.
That was your number 1?
You had that as my number 1?
I didn't know you liked Guns N' Roses that much.
I love...
Our friend Rich and our friend Dave, they love Guns N' Roses.
Seriously?
I missed both number 1s by
one. You missed
just
mine
an
by
inch.
1.
Just an inch.
Seriously?
You like Guns N' Roses that much, eh?
It is the hottest music I've ever heard in my life.
Guns N' Roses was the end of the hair band, so that's one good thing they did. And they have a few good songs. Like it's
They have more than a few good songs, first of all. Second of all, between Axl Rose's voice and Slash playing guitar, I discovered a lot of things about myself listening to that.
And they killed hair bands, which is great.
Oh, I used to...
Music and sex really gets close on you, doesn't it?
Music and sex are the same thing. In my life, they're the same thing.
Wow.
And music has always been
Maybe
sexual.
we shouldn't have done this list.
Maybe we should have.
Yeah, for you,
Music has always been sexual in my life. And
Jack's just writing down a list to make his playlist.
I remember being 12 years old, trying to figure out who I am, and hearing Guns N' Roses and going, oh,
I know a lot of boys.
Why does that feel so funny? To this day, Guns N' Roses makes me feel
It takes you Paradise City?
all over my body. So, and
Very nice.
I used to tell people when I was 16, I would fucking do anything to be with Axl Rose. I don't care if he's a wife beater. He beat the shit out of me. And which is a horrible thing to say, and I'm ashamed that I ever said it, because at the time I'd never been around abuse and I didn't understand it. Because I really thought I didn't care what he did to me as long as he did it.
That's crazy.
So that guy that jumps through the cake in that video, that was crazy.
He's dead. That's the lead singer of
Shannon Hoon.
Yeah,
that was crazy.
Yeah, unfortunately, I have since learned that that's actually a real thing because, domestic violence, like I'd only ever seen on TV or heard about, and I didn't realize it was real because I don't want to say obviously, I did not grow up in a house where that was a common thing.
Luckily.
And my dad yelled at me repeatedly for saying that because he did grow up in a house like that. So I'm ashamed that I ever said it because I did not condone it by
But to
any
this
means.
day, you will still do Axl Rose.
I would do Axl Rose. I would not let him touch me in a harmful way whatsoever, but I would.
Okay, well then.
And your number 2, Jack.
My number two favorite band of all time, which is going to be out of left field. I think it's going to be Typo Negative.
Oh, Type of Name is a great band.
Typo Negative. I will listen to that goth rock.
R.I.P.
Yes, Peter Steele is dead. They were giants, both
In stature
and in sound, and it was a not taking yourself serious kind of twist on the goth movement. Goth rock, and it was. I still have the CDs in my car for my long commute, and I have some of my favorite songs are still from October Rust, and I would say I wish they would have broken and been more popular, but they weren't.
But they're popular enough. They
And then the lead singer passed away, and then that was it. What can he do?
Yeah, what do you? He was the band, really. And there you go.
That was my number 2. And on that sobering note, we're going to take a break. We're going to take one commercial, and then we're going to be right back to find out what our number 1 favorite band in our top 5 favorite 5.
Vinland Old Time Radio.
It is to laugh.
Last row!
Hoy there, Dirigible.
It's a gavel, a haunted gavel.
Have you read The King in Yellow?
Africa's a continent?
It's with great protest. Ooh, now that's a fine program.
VinlandOldTimeRadio.podbean.com.
And we're back. Now, Rob.
Hey, before we go into number 1, so let me just make a comment that so far 4 of my 4 have been 100% sexual.
Yeah.
So doesn't that mean your guys's is when I'm alone, I'm sitting there listening to this, and I'm
cool.
It's just interesting to think that
Difference
music
between
means
girls
a
and
different.
boys.
I don't think it's girls and boys.
Just
I think
you?
it's individuals. I think
'Cause-
music. Shut up, Rob. You're hateful.
No, it's true.
I think music means a different thing to each person that listens to it, right?
I think it's not even that. I think it's how you differentiate between favorite bands and then songs that mean something to you, like bands that mean something.
Right.
The bands in my favorite necessarily aren't the ones that mean something.
My
like that.
top 5 favorite songs may not correlate with my top 5
definitely
favorite
not, yeah.
bands by any means.
Yeah, for sure.
But these bands, I don't know. They just mean something to me, and mine happen to be sexual, and your guys happen to be, this is deep, and this means something, and I'm like, God, mine is so far 100% about it means something to me.
And the important part of that statement, and what we really have to hone in on, is that you're going to have to listen to Clutch soon. Anyways, Rob, what is your number one favorite song, band?
Once you hear what I say, you'll be like, oh, okay, that makes sense.
How it beats, Tools,
Black Sabbath.
Incarnations.
Yep.
Okay.
Ready?
Yes.
Ministry.
Al Jorgensen, yes.
Al Jorgensen, he's the man. Uncle Al. Ministry has been around for 50 years almost. No, it's been about 40 years, 30-something years. But, yeah, they've been awesome almost through all those years.
And he looks like it's been 100 years.
Yes, and he survived. He's like the oldest living heroin addict on the earth. So
as soon as Lemmy Kilmister's dead, I'll give you that.
I don't think Lemmy does heroin. I think he's more into cocaine and speed and things like that.
And whatever else happens to be. The booze, yeah.
JD guy.
He's had to switch to
Honorable
vodka.
mention is definitely...
Yeah, he's had to switch to vodka now. The doctor's ordered to stop drinking, so he said, okay, it's just vodka.
Yeah. Anyways, Ministry is...
Well, that's a true story. That sounds funny, but it's a true story.
It's a true story. But Ministry is an amazing band because they are industrial music. I mean, that's what I like.
And I do, on my phone right now, I have probably 4 Ministry songs. I'm going to guess, Thieves.
Thieves is classic.
NWO. That has George W. Bush in the mixed into it. What was the other?
Burning Inside or
Never
Scarecrow.
Trust a Junkie.
Just One Fix.
Just One Fix. Yep. Okay.
Ministry is
Ministry. I wouldn't have
because through all the ages, Ministry has been there for me.
I wouldn't have thought they were number one.
To release my anger.
But yes, that they are aggressive.
Jesus built my hot rod.
That was where they hit mainstream.
Yep, it was NWO and those ones.
And Lay.
That was the one after. Yeah, Filth Pig.
Yeah.
But yes,
which we listened to driving up to go watch. I don't know how long you'd had the album, but we were heading up to see Event Horizon at the drive-in.
Oh yes.
And you're like, prepare your ear holes.
And at the same time, I think coming back from Event Horizon, we were listening to KMFDM because Wayne just got KMFDM.
Could be.
Anyway, so there you go, Ministry. And
Janet, what is your number?
Rob's already shit on my number one too. So, you know.
How could I shit on your
There's been a lot of profanity.
He's crapped on a lot of things. But I'm actually surprised that you picked Guns N' Roses as potentially my number one. Because I can think of a song from this band that makes me think of every person in my life. Literally, I can think of almost every person in my life matches a song from this band. And that would be the Beatles.
Well, that's not shitting on them. I said they're like the best band ever.
You're like, well, some people will pick the Beatles.
Well, I just said we all like the Beatles. We just didn't put them on the list.
But honestly, I can't not put them as my number one.
They're a classic
because
band.
Everything I think about music stems from the Beatles. Every person in my life has a song I can match to a Beatles song.
And I think it's hard to argue that the Beatles aren't like the best band ever. Like, not even like your favorite
I'm not
band,
saying
but the best band classic. You know, like
I would never try to argue someone that thinks like the Rolling Stones are the greatest classic rock band or whatnot, and I think that's garbage. I would never argue that person. To me, I can match a Beatles song to like everyone I know. I can also George Harrison. On his own is amazing.
They're all amazing.
John Lennon on his own was amazing.
Even Ringo.
Yeah.
Can I be Maxwell Silverhammer?
Yeah.
You can be Rocky Raccoon.
Oh, that makes me cry. As a child, I'd cry all the time to that song.
To Rocky Raccoon?
My dad's friend Joe, who you call the strong hand.
We know.
He'd play it all the time, and as like a little kid, like 2 or 3, I would cry my eyes out because he killed.
Here Comes the Sun was the song my dad always sang to me as a kid. Except with my nickname inserted instead of darling that I'm not going to say in certain presents. I can think of a Beatles song for everything. When I started taking French, my mom used to sing to me Michel, ma belle. Every part of my life, like my dad's ringtone on my phone is Hey Jude, because when he was in the army, he remembers his whole barracks when that song came out singing Hey Jude, and like when you get to the chorus of it, it all is significant to me.
They're an amazing band. That is a
they
great
were
number one.
they were an amazing band, and for not having grown up in that time to be so influenced by their music is incredible.
They spanned long enough that their musical.
Generations,
and the time
And for only being around for like 10 years, 15 years.
Right.
But their sounds had changed. They hit a lot of chords. They were able to
Put out
mix-
tons of music, like hundreds
Yeah.
of songs.
Well, you figure Lennon was killed the year I was born, and
Was it? Yeah.
yeah, it was 81, or was he killed in 83? Either way,
No, I
it
think
was
it was
either the
81.
year I was born or my sister was born.
Was he killed by a giant stone John Wilkes Booth?
Yes, exactly.
Call back.
No, but like you figure he was dead by
For
the
your
time I
life,
was in
yeah.
my formative years, but I could still like that music still means something to me. That's a sign of a true
Oh.
artist.
Yeah,
Yeah.
There's no disputing that. Like, I can shit on every other band on your list. There's no way I could shit
You
on that
can't shit
No.
on them.
one. That's
But you
undefended.
did like,
That's
they're like, I don't mean them to be cliche. I would not pick them because they're like the Beatles. I pick
They are
them
the
because
Beatles,
they mean so much to my life.
Yeah.
So
I can see it totally.
Yeah.
there you go.
Very much so. Very much
There
so.
you go.
Now, my number one choice was the counter to the Beatles. That is what they were famous for. It is true.
Okay.
Black Sabbath.
Oh, okay.
I knew that.
I thought you were like Rolling Stones. What the?
No, I was like, if he picks Rolling,
I knew it would be
no
Black
way
Sabbath,
he would
but
say
it's
Rolling
confused me.
Stones.
We already knew
yeah.
Black Sabbath was coming because you took Ozzy
Yeah.
out of Black Sabbath. So.
So, yes, Black Sabbath, obviously.
Great band, obviously.
Yeah. Everything you said about the Beatles, you can say about Black Sabbath, except for they've had a career that spanned
Longer time, yeah.
decades and decades. Right, everything from the original, right out of the Brummies out of Birmingham, the original album, which is genius.
Black Sabbath.
Yeah, it's just revolutionary, way ahead of its time. The sound,
was, yeah.
there was nothing else like it. It was
It
counter
birthed
to
heavy
the
metal.
yes, it was counter to the sounds, the upbeat hippie sounds. It was anti-war but aggressive, and it was anti-religion, anti everything that was wrong, and just angry poor youths had to rebel against. And they kept going right through the 70s. I know people don't care for the 70s Black Sabbath.
Well, that's kind of what 80s is where it really went down. When Ozzy left, that was the end of Black Sabbath, personally.
But you add Roddy James Dio to
So
anything.
you like Dio, yeah? I'm not a big Dio fan.
Dio from Rainbow, Man on the Silver Mountain. Dio, you could put Dio in Rice Krispies and it would taste delicious. There's nothing.
He adds the mushrooms to it. Or not, yeah, mushrooms. That makes sense. That was a Freudian slip. I meant marshmallows, but he definitely adds mushrooms to things.
Okay, he adds the mushrooms to your cereal. I love Dio. Honorable mentions right there. He was fantastic. But yeah, Black Sabbath. And to this day, can listen to Black Sabbath albums.
Yeah, they're classics.
Spiral Architects.
We've named many things after.
Yes, that song alone.
Speaking
has
of, actually, we forgot to mention during Typo Negative that Vinland Old Time Radio comes from Typo Negative.
That is true. That is true.
So we forgot to mention that too. But yes, Spiral Architects, that is definitely a thing that influenced us over the years.
Yes, that song alone, which it comes from an obscure album, that is a song that has never, I don't think, ever seen radio play or even been touted as a good song, but it is a great song.
It's a great song, yeah.
It is a great song. So that is my
Excellent.
number one, and I don't think anyone can deny that either. That's Iron Man, The Wizard.
And she's heard all the Black Sabbath songs.
Yeah, I'm not denying any of those. What I'm excited to see is honorable mentions.
Okay.
So, Rob, your honorable mentions.
Definitely Runaways for female punk. I'm big punk, but I didn't put much punk on my list. Clash, Pill, Public Image Limited, KMFDM, didn't mention them. Typo Negative, obviously. Yeah, there's quite a few. There's too many good bands, that's the problem. Nine Inch Nails.
Yeah,
There's a lot of good bands.
not a good band.
Yeah.
This is a hard one.
It was definitely a hard one. What's your honorable mentions, Jim?
For me, I have Pink Floyd.
Oh, yes, Pink Floyd.
Pink Floyd, for sure.
Absolutely. I have Simon and Garfunkel.
Yes, you did love your Simon and
I
Garfunkel.
love my Simon and Garfunkel. And I had a third one, and it just slipped my mind. Because I did not write my honorable mentions
didn't
down.
either.
But it was Pink Floyd, Simon and Garfunkel. Yeah, it'll come to me eventually. But those two, kind of a big deal.
They're Beatles.
They're a big deal to me.
Jack?
And honorable mentions, again, you can go the classic route, you can go
I can
contemporary.
go New Kids on the Block.
Yeah, you have the boy band.
That wasn't on my list, but I do love New Kids on the Block. A lot. Old and new. Go ahead.
Honorable mentions.
Honorable mentions. Clutch is a good one. Clutch,
They have a lot of good albums.
I haven't listened to them in a long time. Tool was one that really, and Pink Floyd, Beatles, just music, all-time bands is a tough. A
there's
tough
so
one.
much.
Yeah.
You can almost go by genre too.
Yeah.
But I think we did a pretty good job with such a broad.
Yeah, we covered a lot.
So now it comes down to the final segment of our show, the piece that we force someone to experience something that broaden the horizons by taking on the burden.
This isn't fair because you guys have heard every one of my bands.
Oh, so you're taking yourself
So
out
I
of
have
the
a
discussion?
feeling
Okay.
that it will all come down to me listening to something.
I have a feeling most times it comes down to you, us forcing something on you.
No, Last Unicorn.
Last Unicorn.
I did watch it.
Save it for the
So-
final five.
Okay. We'll have a supplement.
Yeah.
Yes, the FFF.
Worth it. That's what I did there.
Okay, the Red Bull was scary as a child, and I'm guessing that we have to.
It's
Janet
coming
won't
on
like
me.
any of the music we choose. It doesn't matter.
Probably not, in all sincerity. But
three clutch songs and
that
call it a
you
day.
guys can pick which ones you think I need to hear that might spin me.
Clutch? I don't. Do you think Clutch is the one she's most likely to like? I don't think so.
50,000 watts of unstoppable power, or maybe Shogun named Marcus. That's a
the
little
original.
aggressive. That's a little aggressive.
They're all aggressive. Clutch is a pretty aggressive band.
Way to sell it.
That's what I'm thinking. Maybe a different band. Who else has got
Yeah,
this?
I'm not into aggressive music.
But
I'm not
it's-
into
it's-
aggressive anything.
It's sexy as hell, though.
Who else is on our list?
Regulators.
Oh no, obviously.
Oh my God,
I
Ben
think
Folds
she probably like
5?
a Perfect Circle or
Ben Folds 5
Actually,
would probably
Perfect
be in
Circle
my
she probably
honorable
like.
mention because that's sexy as hell too.
like a Perfect Circle. You probably would like some of the songs, like legitimately, like Brenna and things like that. Like it's like really lyrical and nice.
Judith.
Judith's the most like heavy song they do, really.
It's not always about lyrical. Sometimes it's about the beat. There are songs that
I
aren't
think a
in
Perfect
my,
Circle is
aren't
the
in
one
my
that she might like
wheelhouse.
something.
That the beat.
So,
Or we could just do a mix. We'll just do a mixtape.
perfect.
Okay, mixtape,
Mixtape. So that will wrap up another
but it's
edition
got to be
of,
sexy.
of Favorite
Sexy
5.
mixtape.
We will be doing the sexiest songs of Tool, Pitch Shifter, and Clutch.
Duel maybe got some sexy songs, but you almost killed me.
We've broken Rob, and on that bombshell, I bid you adieu.
Ciao.
Ciao, ciao.
That is this edition of Our Favorite 5. Favorite 5 has been brought to you by Vinland Old Time Radio Productions. Thank you for joining us. I've been your host, Jack. Thank you, and good night.
Hey, Jack.
Hey, Rob.
Funny meeting you here.
In the studio, in front of the mic. It's uncanny.
It's not a regular occurrence anymore. Ever since Studio H got shut down for, well, things.
Violations. Health code violations. You know how it is.
Ever since that happened, it's not been as regular.
Speaking of regular, you regularly update your Twitter account.
I call it our Twitter account because it's Vinland OTR.
And what does that stand for, Rob?
Vinland Old Time Radio. That's this little podcast we do. I don't know if you've heard of it.
Have not.
That's funny because you recorded it. Oh, I didn't tell you were recording?
No, this is just me
Uh-huh.
being me. Anyways, yeah, so if someone would want to follow your Twitter account,
Our Twitter account.
how would they do that?
At Vinland OTR.
Fantastic. And people who don't want to follow our Twitter account, who are on Twitter, you make baby Jesus cry. Live with that.
At Vinland OTR. 2 N's in Vinland. It's not Vineland, it's Vinland. If you can't spell, we don't want you.